go conventionist for maiden speeches to avoid saying anything members opposite will find disagreeable. But I can't do that, because my generation has only ever faced a future of rising rents, frozen wages, and diminishing opportunities. For my whole adult life, I've only known Tory governments that wage war on working-class communities like mine. Cutting our services, underfunding our schools and hospitals, saddling me and my generation with tens of thousands of pounds of student debt. And now the manufacturing jobs that were the backbone of Coventry, that brought my family from Kashmir to the region, are now few and far between. The public libraries that allowed me to study and go to university are closed. The council houses that allowed working class families like mine access safe, affordable homes have been sold off. And while the vast majority have seen services cut and wages stagnate over the past decade, the super rich have had their taxes cut and their incomes soar. The gap between the ruling class and the working class has widened and is widening. And the response from members opposite is, as it always has been, to divide and rule. That's what's happening when they compare Muslim women to bank robbers, when they call gay men tank-topped bum boys, and when they blame events like the Hillsborough disaster on drunken fans. They are pitting our communities against each other. They are diverting attention away from the billionaires that fund their party, dodge their taxes, and rig the economy. Well, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm a working-class Muslim woman, and I know the Bullingdon boys will never be on my side. And they will never be on the side of the shop stewards in Coventry, the cleaners in Carlisle, migrant workers in Manchester, or teachers in Tottenham. I know my Muslim brothers and sisters, my Jewish comrades, my friends in the Gypsy, Traveller and Roma communities, and people of all faiths and none are safer when we unite to defeat the far right, even as this government has given them newfound confidence. And I know that a government that abandons refugee children abroad will just as quickly abandon working-class children in Britain, where 1 in 3 already live in poverty, because this is a government of the few and it will never be for the many. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the prospects of 5 more years of this government is almost enough to make me despair, but my generation and I cannot afford to despair. Because if we do, then by the time I reach middle age, it will be too late. The climate emergency will have become the climate catastrophe. So I come here with a message from my generation and my constituents. We have no intention of letting that happen. We have seen Australia burn and Indonesia drown. We have seen our Earth teeter on the brink of ruin. We have heard the warnings of scientists, and we know where the blame lies. It's with the 100 companies that are responsible for 70% of global pollution. It's with the billionaires who got rich polluting our rivers and pumping out carbon. It's with an economic system that puts the profits of the rich above the needs of the people. So make no mistake about it. The climate crisis is a capitalist crisis, and the climate struggle is a class struggle across borders. Whether you're in Coventry or Canberra, Doncaster or Delhi, if you're working class, you'll suffer the worst effects of floods, fires, droughts, and devastation, while the rich will build ever higher walls to protect themselves. That's what's coming. That's what's coming unless we take bold action. It's what will happen unless we unite working people across borders to say our lives are more important than anyone's profits. It's what will happen unless we put power in the hands of the working class, to put people and planet first. This is the urgent call of our times, an international Green New Deal to transition from disaster capitalism to a new society created on the principles of equality, freedom and justice. Building green industries, providing good unionised jobs, democratising our economy and eradicating poverty. That new society has an old name. It's a name that inspired past generations in the fight against mass unemployment, war and fascism. It's the name they gave to a decent, livable, healthy future on this planet. That name is socialism. Mr. Deputy Speaker, 10 years ago I was sitting my GCSEs at school. I was a teenager and I never dreamed I would be here today. In 10 years' time, at the start of the next decade, I want to look teenagers in the eye and say with pride, my generation faced 40 years of Thatcherism and we ended it. We faced rising racism and we defeated it. We faced a planet in peril, we saved it. We have our work cut out, but together we can do it. Thank you.
Julian Keegan.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker, and may I congratulate you on your re-election to the chair. And it is a pleasure to follow the honourable member for